Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here. Same discussions on Strike Seven Sports. And today I just want to talk about some recent buzz, some recent chatter that's been circulating, online, since dating back to this past Saturday on Christmas Eve, even a few days prior to that, about the possibility of the Saints pursuing Eagles quarterback, who's also assumed to be free agent, Gardner Minshew, to join the team next season and be the starting QB for the Saints going forward. Um, my thoughts on that is that uh, if the only way, in my opinion, should the Saints be looking to pursue another quarterback, not named Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston, is if these guys, these guys that you bring in are going to make the team 10 times better than what it is right now. You know, because I feel like Garner. I mean, what can Garner do that Andy Dalton's already not doing with his offense right now? You know, and also what Gardner Minshew has in Philadelphia, he won't have in New Orleans, at least right now. The way the current setup of the wide receivers are right now, the passing game. Um, these got better. Gardner Minshew looks really good with these pieces he have in Philadelphia. He had a really good game against the Dallas Cowboys in a losing effort. Um, Threw, I believe, two interceptions in the game. I believe one wasn't his fault. The other one was, but he's a solid quarterback. He's a solid backup quarterback, in my opinion. He's a bridge QB. He's not a guy that you're gonna insert into your lineup, your roster, and build around him for the next 10 to 15 years. In my opinion, I just don't think he's that guy. And there's a reason why he's bounced around a few teams, and from Jacksonville to here to Philadelphia. There's a reason why, because he has limitations as well. And this ain't a knock against Minshew. I think he'd be a great backup that could come in and play in spots. But he's not a Jalen Hurts. If Hurts had to come, if Hurts doesn't come back, I think I'm just saying. I know Hurts probably will come back in the postseason, but if Hurts doesn't come back for the postseason, and they decide to roll with Minshew, I don't think the Eagles are a Super Bowl contender or a threat to get to the championship. You know, and now I think that if you're gonna roll with, I mean, Dalton is doing played pretty well. I'll give him credit for that. But our receivers have done a bad job of helping him out because we're back to, in my opinion, we're back to the situation to what we were in last year with these, excuse me, with these third-rate wide receivers, these undrafted rookies playing in big spots and big roles on this team, like we were last year. Outside of Chris Olave, we have a very unreliable receiving core. Um, and even Chris Olave has moments where he's had a few drops this year. Jarvis Landry hasn't been the same since the coming off the injury. Micah Thomas is out for another year. That's the second year in a row he's been out for the season. And I mean, tight ends position is played a lot better with Jawan Johnson. The running game could be hit or miss, you know. And you compare that to Philadelphia, man, it's like a 180. They have the running game works for Minshew. He has good wide receivers. Tight end is reliable, and Dallas Goedert. He has a really good defense. Not saying the Saints don't have a bad defense, but Philly's defense is 10 times better. And he was able to put those numbers up against a pretty good Dallas Cowboys defense. But I'm gonna just go ahead and look at this stats real quick from the Cowboys game with the Philadelphia Eagles. Just give me a second. So, yeah, he had a solid game. He went 24-40, 355 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So, solid game. Solid game against a really good defense. But if you had to drop Minshew into the Saints offense as it is set up right now, he would not have that same type of success, man. You know, um, I just think that the Saints is just unless you're gonna go for a guy like, unless you're gonna make a move for a guy like a Derek Carr, or, Jared Goff, you know, Lamar Jackson, teams that quarterbacks that are gonna make this team 10 times better than what it is. I think the Saints should just stay put in the quarterback market in regards to from a free agency aspect, and let just draft, sit back, you know, draft a quarterback, let Andy Dalton be the bridge. That's what I think should happen. You know, and you know, I know there's the whole Sean Payne situation that's still out there that he may go to X team X, Y, and Z, and the Saints get a boatload of compensation for him. Until that happens, I'm still operating under the mindset of the Saints not having a first round pick. And I still don't think that's the end of the world. I still think you could find a guy in the second round and you could build this roster around. You know, but I don't think you should go out and overpay, you know, or spend money on a guy like a Gardner Minshew when you can take that same money and use it on Andy Dalton and probably get it Dalton for a lot cheaper. You know, it's time for the Saints to, you know, cut back on going for it all. You know, in regards to building up the roster. You know, it's time for the Saints. They have to build his team through the draft, in my opinion, because and not just build through the draft. These picks in this upcoming draft, they got to hit on them. I've said this in the past. They got to hit on these picks just like you hit on them on the picks in 2017, where you had 4 years of winning 13 game 13-3 records, multiple seasons of 13-3 records, NFC South titles dating back to 2017. You won it 4 consecutive years, and that was because of that draft you had. So the quickest way to get back to that level is through the draft, and that way we minimize the soften the blow of the salary cap, this dead money thing we're dealing with, you know. So unless you're going after a guy like a Derek Carr or Jimmy G, those type of quarterbacks should just stay put, draft a quarterback in this year's draft, and let a guy like Dalton be the bridge going forward. Because I know people don't want to hear this and all, but I just think Dennis Allen's coming back, just based on the optics. That win, that was a huge win for him. He felt pretty good about it, you know, based on what I see, and they're gonna bring it back. But what must not happen is that they try to run the same scheme on offense next season. He has to make a change. That offense needs to be completely overhauled, in my opinion. You know, I think you got some cornerstones you can build around in that offense with Raheem Shaheed, the wide receiver. You got Chris Olave. You know, that's two nice options right there. But I believe that they need another guy in the passing game to help out. You know, bigger wide receiver. And I'll talk about that later on in the future when we start doing the mock drafts and who are the best available at that position. I believe there's a guy they could find in the 3rd round that could be a third option in the passing attack. And I just think they should draft a quarterback, man. Draft a quarterback and let Andy Dalton be the bridge. Let Andy Dalton be the bridge for this team. You know, just the way it is now, man. You know, this team is just not. I don't think it's a Super Bowl contending team right now. I just don't. I think it's you can complete for a contend for a playoff berth, but being like one of the recognized as one of the best teams in the league next year, as the roster's currently set up, I don't think it's they're there yet. But you made the right moves in the offseason. You have another good draft. You know, nearly down in the scouting department. You know, in regards to finding a quarterback, wires, running back to go whatever, Kamara. You have a team that can you set yourself up for success. You know, because you're not paying those guys a lot of money when they first coming out of college. You know, and that's when you're supposed to maximize their value. You know, while you're not paying nobody. You know, so we'll see how everything plays out. But I don't think they should go after. They should try to pursue Gardner Minshew, man. You got can't. I'm not knocking the guy, but you can't be prisoner of the moment. You know, because just because he had a few games here and there where he looked pretty good, but what was the overall success? You know, overall where he's not a guy that's been a hot commodity. You know, when they were training for quarterbacks last year, when quarterbacks were moving, his name didn't come up like that. You know, that's the reason why they did. You know, he's a bridge guy at best, in my opinion. But I think they should stay and put at Andy Dalton. As unpopular as that may sound, you know, is Andy Dalton gonna lead the Saints to a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But he can get them to the playoffs. He can get them to the playoffs. You know, while we groom a young quarterback to get ready to take over the reins. So we'll see everything plays out. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you think the Saints should make a move from Gardner Minshew, and would it make sense to do it? Also in the description box below, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the Warren Saints organization. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out. Who that?